This program is sponsored by Auckland City Council. 9,461. The number of businesses in the Central Business District. 78,480. The number of people who work in those businesses.
Prime Minister, your impressions on the first Action Asia Business Summit?
I've found the speakers I've heard extremely stimulating. Last night the senior representative from China, also the American megatrends commentator, and this morning the Malaysian speaker. They've all been extremely stimulating, and the whole conference is aimed at trying to get a more strategic, coherent, collective business approach to engagement with Asia, and I think this is going to stimulate a lot of interest.
How about the FTA that is coming up against China? I mean, how fruitful is it going to be, and what's the time frame you're looking at?
It's a very intense process. We launched the negotiations some time ago. When Premier Wen Jiabao came to New Zealand in April last year, he expressed his hope that we could conclude within 2 years, and I think we can do that. Obviously, there's been some thorny issues to tackle, but we're making good progress after 11 or 12 rounds of negotiations.
There's a talk that New Zealand has been ever so slow in understanding and recognizing the potential of Asia. Are you happy with the way New Zealand is moving towards recognizing that?
I think there's different levels of recognition in different sectors of society. But the government's been very proactive on Asia for a long time, going back really to engagement post-World War II, which transformed our outlook on the world, and we became very aware then that our security and prosperity was going to be very linked to that of Asia. I think the business community's challenge, and that's put squarely at this conference, is to engage more, because as Asia grows in economic power and wealth, New Zealand needs to be part of that action, not on the margins of it.
What are the emerging challenges that you see forthcoming out of this?
I think the key thing is for business to work out where the high value niches in Asian economies are for New Zealand. We don't want to be just a raw commodity supplier. We know there are fast growing middle class parts of Asian societies. If 10% of people in China are affluent by our standards, that's a big market for the high value things that we produce and do, both our products and our services. So it's a question of identifying where those opportunities are.
You've been making vigorous efforts in promoting and understanding Asia as well, and on a personal scale you've taken under various trips as well. How do you see it from a New Zealand perspective benefiting New Zealand?
Firstly, I think New Zealand is well thought of in Asia, when we're thought of at all. The issue is to keep our profile up, be very strategic about how we as a small country approach the nations of Asia, recognise the incredible diversity of Asia. We can't just talk about Asia. We know Asia has so many distinct groups, societies, nations, languages, cultures. So it's a question of acknowledging the complexity, and then for businesses to work out where their niche is going to be.
All right. Thank you, Prime Minister.
Thank you.
This program was sponsored by Auckland City Council. 56,827. The number of businesses in Auckland City. That's 15% of all New Zealand businesses.